Hey Gary, why are you so quiet today?
I'm kinda scared.
Why are you scared?
We were telling ghost stories last night, and I thought I saw one.
Hey, the same thing happened in the Bible.
Nah.
Sure did. Let me tell you one of them.
I'm kind of full on ghost stories.
Aw, come on, Gary.
Okay, but if I say stop, you gotta stop.
Okay. The disciples were all out in the boat one early morning, long before the sun even came up. And the wind was blowing so hard that all the disciples were doing was straining at the oars, pulling and pulling on the oars. But the wind was blowing so hard that with all their might they still weren't getting very far.
Then what happened?
They looked up and thought they saw a ghost. Jesus' ghost was walking out on the water. They were so scared, they were terrified, and they cried out.
Ah!
That's right, just like that. But just then something happened. Jesus spoke to them and said, "Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid." Then he climbed in the boat with them, and the wind died down.
Then it wasn't a ghost?
Nope, they just thought it was.
And he was real, right there with them, close enough to snuggle up?
Yes. And his voice was speaking words of encouragement.
Wow, that's the best ghost story ever.
And it's true. You know what it tells us today?
What?
He is right there with you too when you are scared.
Close enough to snuggle up?
Yes. Jesus is right there with us through life's storms, close enough to snuggle up and with words of encouragement.
There was a little orange pumpkin named Perky. One day he looked around the pumpkin patch and saw that all his friends were orange. He thought he would like to be some other color, so he sat up proud and said, "I'm a little pumpkin, round and fat, and I can change my color just like that."
Right, so when she says that, where they're round and fat, and then just like that.
All of a sudden, at the snap of his fingers, he was a green pumpkin, green as the grass. Perky went Perky went to play with the other pumpkins, but what do you think happened? His friends did not see him because he was the same color as the grass. He was disappointed. He didn't think it was fun to be a green pumpkin. So he said, "I'm a little pumpkin, round and fat, and I can change my color just like that." And then what color was he? He was blue,
Oh, it is blue.
all over.
What's blue? Water, sky. Alright.
Perky was so proud of his pretty new color that he decided to go for a walk and let everyone admire him. He came to a little pond of water, but do you know what happened? Perky leaned over to look at himself and kerplop, splash, he went into the water. Poor little Perky did not know how to swim. He was scared. He called for help. He called so loudly. His friends came rolling over to help him. They looked in the water, but they couldn't see him because he was blue, like the water. Luckily, his friend, Timothy Turtle, came swimming by. He told Perky to climb on his back. Timothy Turtle gave him a safe ride back to the shore. Perky thanked his friend for helping him. Right there, he decided he did not want to be blue anymore. So he said, "I'm a pumpkin, round and fat, and I can change my color just like that." And what color was he then? He was yellow.
What else is yellow?
Sunflower.
Maybe.
He was so proud of his new color. He decided to go back to the pumpkin patch and show his friends. Well, when his friends saw him, they laughed and said, "You look silly." How do you how do you think that made Perky feel? He was embarrassed and sad. He decided to show them to make himself into a better color. So he said, "I'm a pumpkin, decided he didn't want to be a red pumpkin anymore. He decided he didn't want to be yellow or blue or green. Do you know what he thought?
He wanted to be orange.
He thought he would just like to be himself, round and fat and orange. Maybe he would find a nice home like his friends. So Perky said, I'm a pumpkin, round and fat, and I can change my color just like that. And what color was he now? He was orange. Then a family came to the pumpkin patch. The children got out and ran to Perky. This is the best one we've seen all day, said the little girl. Can we take him home, please? Said the little boy. And they scooped Perky up in their arms and took him home. Now Perky was a very happy pumpkin just being himself, just the way God made him, an orange pumpkin.
Okay. Next we have the pumpkin parable. See that big red barn and all those rolling green fields? That's where the farmer lives, way out in the country. It's so far out, the streets don't even have stop signs. The farmer grows lots of things in those fields. He grows corn and big red tomatoes, long yellow squash, and little green peas. People eat that stuff for dinner. The best vegetable the farmer grows are pumpkins. They start out as flat, oval seeds, almost as big as raisins. One hot June day, soon after school let out, the farmer planted pumpkin seeds, just like he did every summer. The seeds disappeared into the ground in nice neat rows and grew there in the dark, all through the 4th of July. Early one morning, a tiny green shoot quietly poked its way out of the soil. Soon, a long green vine stretched across the ground. From the vine, little buds sprouted into wide green leaves. The leaves out flat to catch the Aussie sun. Someday, those little green buds would turn into big orange pumpkins. But not yet. The patient farmer waited and waited. The pumpkins began to grow. How different they looked. Some were tall and lean, some were short and round, some had lumps and bumps. All of them were pumpkins. October came at last. The sky was bright blue and the air was cooler. Every night it got darker earlier than it did the night before. It was time for the farmer to harvest his pumpkin crop. The farmer's many workers brought lots of bright pumpkins from the field. Which one would he choose first? The farmer picked up one large pumpkin. He was very careful not to let it slip through his hands. Pumpkins are tough on the outside, but break into smithereens if you drop them. He worked off. He washed off all the dirt, holding on tight. Next came the messy part. Pumpkins are full of dozens of seeds and lots of tiny holes. The farmer had a special plan for his chosen pumpkin, so the seeds and his twine had to go. He slowly slid a large knife into the center of the pumpkin. The pumpkin didn't make a sound because vegetables don't talk. If they did talk, the pumpkin might have said, ouch. Gently the farmer cut a round hole in the top of the pumpkin and pulled out the stem. Squishy, stringy pulp waited for him to find. Yeah. The farmer pulled out all of that slimy pulp and wrapped it in an old newspaper. Off to the compost pile it went to better pieces more. Then, someone really exciting happened. The pumpkin got a new face. small white candle down inside the pumpkin and touched the wick with the flame. How that pumpkin glowed! As the sky grew darker, the pumpkin on the porch was shining brighter than ever. When people saw the smiling pumpkin, they smiled back. All the neighbors knew that once again the farmer had turned a simple pumpkin into a simply glorious sight. In the same way, God the Father offers the children the chance to be made new, full of joy and full of light shining like the stars in a dark world.
Dylan, it was ready to pick, and it was October Halloween time. What did he do? He carved it. He made it into pumpkins, didn't he? Yeah. He made it into a jack-o'-lantern. And that's what God does for us. When we accept Him as our Savior, He makes us a new person. He gives us a new, clean heart. All right? So that's what we learned from that. All right. I think our puppet is going to come back out, and this time we have Fred and I think George, maybe was his the other one's name? Yeah. All right. We'll see what Fred and George have for us.
Come on. You gotta come out. That's funny. I could have sworn
Hi, Fred. How are you?
Fine, I guess. But I seem to have misplaced something.
Oh,
Yes, I had my Swiss Army knife out earlier, so I could tighten a screw on the podium here. But it disappeared. You haven't seen it, have you?
maybe I saw it laying around and kind of picked it up. Let me check my emergency supplies.
Your emergency supplies?
Yeah, I keep them in my special backpack.
This backpack?
Yep.
Wow, this is heavy. Let's see what's inside. A spaghetti strainer, an alarm clock, some marbles, a flashlight, a can opener, Gorilla Tape, Band-Aids. What's all this for?
The zombie apocalypse.
The what?
Well, my friend Jimmy and I saw this movie where the whole world was destroyed by this sickness that turned people into monsters.
That's just a movie, Fred. That's not real. Besides, how on earth would you use the spaghetti strainer to fight zombies?
That's a mask to protect my face.
And the Gorilla Tape?
To hold the mask on, silly.
Of course, I should have known. How about the alarm clock?
It's a decoy, a kind of trap. You set the alarm, see, and when the alarm goes off and the monsters go over to see what's making the noise, you can make your getaway.
I see. How about the marbles? No, wait. Let me guess. You drop them on the ground and the zombies step on them and slip and fall.
Right.
Okay, and what about this?
Well, monsters are afraid of fire, but since flaming torch is too dangerous, I thought I'd just use a flashlight instead.
And the can opener? Is this for fighting off monsters too?
No, Fred, that's for opening cans.
Cans of what?
All kinds of cans, baked beans, soup, all that stuff. Because you never know, after a zombie apocalypse, you might have to eat a lot of stuff out of cans.
George,
Yeah.
you do know there isn't going to be any zombie apocalypse, right?
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Because when I went to the Halloween store with my mom to get my costume, there sure was some scary things there. I want to be safe.
That's all just pretend.
But isn't it a good idea to be ready just in case of an emergency?
It's good to be prepared for emergencies that are likely to happen, but a monster attack just isn't realistic.
I'll bet that's what Noah's neighbors thought about him getting ready for the flood. They didn't think the world being covered with water was realistic.
Oh, you mean when he built the ark and gathered all those animals together?
Yeah, they probably thought he was crazy. But then God did flood the earth, and they were the ones who ended up in trouble when the rain started to fall.
maybe to them the idea of a flood destroying the world did sound as crazy as a zombie apocalypse. The science of the people in Noah's time told them that such a flood couldn't happen. It could only be caused by God. God told Noah what he was going to do, and he told Noah what to do about it. And then after the flood was over, after Noah and his family and all the animals came off the ark, do you remember what happened? God sent a rainbow as a sign that he would never ever destroy everything by flooding the earth again.
He didn't say he wouldn't destroy everything with zombies, though.
He didn't say he would destroy everything with zombies either.
Oh.
Monsters aren't real. Around Halloween, people like to play at being scared by witches and zombies and spooky things. But it's not monsters that God warns us to watch out for. It's the ways that we disobey him and hurt each other, and what we need to prepare ourselves against. That is a kind heart, an upright spirit, and guidance from the Word of God, not torches and pokey things.
So I guess I won't be needing all this stuff, huh?
At least not. At least not to find monsters. I suggest you put it back in the kitchen, except the marbles and knife.
At least I can still use the bag for trick-or-treating.